Hello everybody, my name is Ron Herman. I have stores in Los Angeles, I live here in California. I've actually lived here all my life. I now have many friends in Japan, and I have a business in Japan with a wonderful company, Sazabi League, and I've met so many people who have become friends, both who live in Japan and who live here in Los Angeles. And some of these people have become like family members for me. I feel very close to the people of Japan. On that day, March 11th, I was traveling from Paris to London. I was there doing business, and in that time, I didn't hear the information because I was actually on a train from Paris to London. When I arrived in London, everyone was watching the televisions and listening to the news, and I became aware that this earthquake and tsunami had happened just then. So I went to the hotel, turned on the TV, and immediately called directly to Japan. I spoke to some people. I spoke to people, Japanese friends of mine who live in Los Angeles, and I was very, very concerned for first everyone's well-being, everyone's families, friends. I personally did not know anyone in the area most affected, but of course I knew people that were still affected because most people had relatives, friends, or people they knew who lived in the area of Sendai. So my concern was for those people that I know. My extended concern, however, was for the people that I don't know, people now that I never will know. I recently met Samara, who told me the story of her family. I had never met Samara, but because of the opportunity of making this video, I had the chance to sit and talk with Samara and learn from her about her brother, her family, that her home was safe, but her friends and some of her family members had perished in this horrible disaster. And in hearing that, I saw the pain, and I could feel the suffering. And as I'm feeling that today, of course this is the beginning of June, it's several months later, but the pain hasn't gone away and the suffering remains. And the history will write about this event in ways in which we are not familiar right now. We don't have enough information. We don't have enough help. Right now, it's important that we continue to learn from this experience, that we continue to support those that are here amongst us, as well as those extended family members that are still in Japan. There's only one area at the moment of Japan that has been so seriously affected, but we don't know the future. I think it's important that we continue to do the research, that we keep an open mind, that we maintain an open heart, that we continue to provide the support, the care, the love for these people. Because on the one hand, we realize that the Japanese people are the most perhaps resilient on the earth. They survive and surpass. They rebuild and regrow, but in a way that takes us to another level. It's happened before in my lifetime, and perhaps it's beginning to happen again. And we'll learn about how to build nuclear reactors. We'll learn about how to predict earthquakes. We'll learn how to save lives in coastal communities where people make their livelihoods from the sea. And from this, I think that it's why it's important that we pay close attention to how the people of Japan respond, how they react, and how resilient they are, and their ability to take all of us as humanity to the next level. I would say this is perhaps the reason I'm most proud to be in a relationship with so many people who have shown care and concern for myself, and at the same time behaved in a way which leads us to believe that human beings are actually, by nature, extremely good. People were giving away food, offering shelter, homes to those that weren't families or people that they didn't even know. They were not looting, they were not stealing, they were supporting one another. They were giving aid at a time of need. There's a lot to learn from this. Perhaps it's one of the greatest lessons of humanity, that we care for one another. So maybe there's something here that even though the clouds seem dark and the news is very sad, maybe we can take pride in being part of this humanity. Maybe we can see the silver lining in the dark clouds. Maybe the rain parts and a rainbow exists. Maybe the pot of gold is actually in the area that we were looking for the least. My only suggestion, my only hope, my only real desire for everyone is to find the patience and take the time for all of us to heal and to find a new way and to look on this as not just the end of our lives or the end of our friends' lives, but rather the beginning of a new life. Samaras shared with me that her brother who perished, his wife is pregnant now, and life will begin anew. These are the stories we want to hear, along with the others. This is the greatest thing we can have in perhaps our lives is balance, and that's my desire. You know, somehow there's an international language, perhaps. Perhaps we sense this. We know it, and we use an example as to feelings. Sometimes it's best to actually be in silence. Sometimes prayers speak louder than any words. Sometimes silent prayers are even heard better than those that are spoken out loud. In any case, one thing I can say, we have to turn within, we have to find our heart and open our hearts and share our feelings with one another. We have to consider ourselves as being part of a global community and realize that there really are people that care, and they care a lot, and they feel deeply. And I think we have to all focus on that. We have to also be optimistic. We must see the glass half full. We must see the brighter side. And we have to know that it's going to take time, and we have to be patient. And we have to think about ourselves, but we also have to think about future generations. What can we do to make a difference? And we have to be the ones that make a difference. And every little bit seems to help. Everything we do, one little step. $1 in a gift box. In my store, I've had on the counter since the day of this event, I've had a box for people who just don't know what to do, but they want to do something. They can put $1 in the box. I personally am planning to go to Japan in 2 weeks, and I'm going to take the money that all these people left with in my care, trusting me, and I'm going to hand this over to my friends in Japan, who will in turn give it to those people who really do need this money. I've donated money from the sale of several different things that we have to help the people, and I will bring that money and I will give it to my friends, and hopefully it'll arrive at the doorstep of someone in need. And hopefully that small little bit will be added to those other steps that people are taking and be meaningful on a big scale. So I encourage everybody to somehow dig down deep and find in your heart and find a way to give what you can to help the people get beyond this moment in time. I mean, the earth is quite old, and Japan is a very old country, and it's survived many, 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 I'm sure, wars and devastations, and yet it's, you know, it's thousands of years now. This is a moment in time. This is a part of our evolution, and we will survive. I'd like to thank everybody for participating in this charity event, for supporting Samara, and stand up for Hope for Sendai. I personally appreciate it, and I'm sure that all the people who are in Japan appreciate it, and the people who have donated their time and efforts to make this particular charity event meaningful. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Thank you to one and all for all of your support.